Hi, my name is Jerry Parker, and I'm a storyteller. And I'm going to tell you a story about Chee, an organ grinding monkey. I guarantee you that this story will be 60% true. I was on the farm, and the farm was right next to the city limits of Coon Rapids. And to make a little money as a kid that didn't have a job, a paper boy that delivered papers around town give me a job for a week while he was on vacation to deliver these papers. These papers come from Des Moines, Iowa, and Des Moines, Iowa sent out a truck all across the state of Iowa delivering the newspaper for the day. This was right after midnight that these papers would come in. Us paper boys would get our particular package and put it in a bag, put the paper in there, and deliver the papers. Some of us had a bicycle. Some of us had to walk. But we learned to throw that newspaper right up on the doorstep so we didn't get bit by the pet dog that wanted to chew our leg off. I made a little money. I saved it. I finally saved enough to buy a pet organ grinding monkey. And when that monkey came to the house, I opened the box, and this chimpanzee, not a monkey, chimpanzee, stuck his head out and looked at me and said, Chee, Chee, that's what I called him, Chee. Him and I just got along like you wouldn't believe. He would sit on my shoulder and wrap his tail around my neck, and when I'd eat, he'd grab something off of the plate and he'd eat it too. And sometimes he would sit on my head and wrap his tail around my face. Chee. We take a bath. Chee would be in the bath with me, and we went to bed. He would go to bed with me, and Chee and I were just as close as you could get. I got another job. I had enough money to buy a lawnmower. One of these old-fashioned lawnmowers like this. It didn't have a blade that whirled, but you had to push that lawnmower. It was work. And you'd start on one side of the yard and you'd mow it and come down the other side of the yard. Chee would go out of the head of the lawnmower while I was mowing, and if there was a stick or something that would bother the lawnmower, he would pick it up and flip it out of the way where I'd already mowed. And boy, we were going around this yard lickety-split. And we got halfway up one side of the yard, and here come a squirrel out of the trees on the other side and run right in behind Chee and distracted Chee. And he looked around and he didn't know what was going on. And here I come with a more. I couldn't stop. Chee-Chee's tail was out there, and I cut off that much of the end of his tail. He screamed and he went 6 feet in the air. He turned around, he come down head first, and before I could stop that lawnmower, chop, 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 I chopped his head off. I was divested, devastated, I mean. I lost Chee-Chee. I moped, whined for a week. And finally my father decided that was enough. And he took a hold of me and took me down behind the barn. And he told me, son, you have experienced a time in your life that I want to explain to you. He says, what happened to you is like a moral story. And the moral of this story is, don't lose your head over a little piece of tail. Thank you. I'm Jerry Parker. I'm a storyteller.